He entered a department rocked by the fatal officer-involved shooting of Dante Wright. Now, Brooklyn Center's police chief feels he has accomplished one of his big goals. Chief Kellis McDaniel plans to retire after taking over the department 15 months ago. This weekend in Newsmakers, Rusty Ray sits down with the chief, addressing where his department has been and where it's going.
So after 25 years, time to step away and maybe try something else? Is that the gist of it?
Yes, it's time. 25 years is a long time. I've done some pretty decent things in my career. Started in a little small town of Scott County, and was there for a while, pretty close to 8 years there. And then basically wanted to do something a little bit bigger and shifted over to Hennepin County, the sheriff's office. They have 8 lines of business there. I got a chance to work in about 5 or 6 lines of business. One of my mainstays was community engagement. Got a chance to work alongside a recent sheriff that was there. Got to travel and do a lot of different speaking engagements. Got to speak in all different cities on opioids and that sort of thing, so which is a huge subject matter until today. And then I ended my career there in the courts, where I oversaw 57 deputies, and then took on the chief of police for Brooklyn Center.
And you took on that in a challenging time for the city. That's no secret. It's been a difficult few years there, to say the least. But in your time as chief there, the city been working with the elected officials, but also with you, to kind of turn the page and try to create some changes there to allow for a different way of doing law enforcement and public safety?
And I think most chiefs will say they enjoy the community policing aspect of it, in which we did. That's a part of just basically getting out of your squad cars and actually going into the businesses and that sort of thing, creating trust relationships. And I think that was something that has been done in Brooklyn Center, but I think just to recreate the wheel, so to speak. And then when you have good community that trust in PD, it kind of helps out that way too. So it was a big challenge. People thought, maybe he's a good healer coming in as a chief, kind of non-traditional. I think I helped bring that family aspect back together, and before you know it, everybody engages in my style, and I think it's been working.
And do you feel like things are headed in a direction that will look somewhat different than maybe 5 years ago, but for the right reasons?
I do. I think because we do have support. I mean, we're a city of 33,000, population-wise. The majority of people, like I say, relationship piece, are trusting the police again. I just think the biggest aspect is, collaboration and transparency. When there is something going on internally, I like to try to be the chief to get the word out, as soon as possible. So.
And in your experience with Hennepin County, you said you did a lot of that community engagement piece. Did you bring some of that to bear here? And you say maybe restarting, but reforming relationships, even if people knew who you were or knew who your officers were. Did you bring some of that piece from the county into that?
I did. I think one of the biggest things when I first came in is I wanted to make sure I knew all the business owners, right? And as many people as I can. And at the time I had a great crime prevention specialist who basically took me out to everybody, and we built a really good relationship. We even created this business district organization as far as having meetings with, certain types of organizations and that sort of thing. So I really got to be pretty close to a lot of business owners and that sort of thing. And with that, I just basically would ask them questions, what do you want from PD? A lot of it was safety. A lot of it was, let's rebuild these relationships. And a lot of it is that's what they wanted to do. And we did have frequent meetings and that sort of thing, and it's helped create basically what we have now.
In 25 years, in what positive ways do you feel like the law enforcement model has shifted?
I think it's shifted just with, I'm pretty close to a lot of chiefs, right? You have the cities, you have New Hope and Crystal and that sort of thing. And the beauty of my position is I knew a lot of them right now. And we built this somewhat relationship where it's, if something is going on in Brooklyn Center, there's help from other agencies. So I think that whole trusting thing, you're going to hear me say trust a lot because it's very important, especially in, moving things along for the future. You just have to have that. And if you can't build trusting relationships, it's just not going to work.
And in this year plus with the city of Brooklyn Center, a few more months to go for you, what's the biggest thing you feel like you as a law enforcement or you as a person have learned?
You know, I've learned a lot. I've learned internally there's some really good people that are in the building that I so-called supervise, fantastic individuals. One of my biggest accomplishments is to be able to hire individuals. I've sworn in actually over a dozen officers that are still with us till this day. And just going to meetings and actually seeing the smiles on people's faces and, you know, not a lot of tense moments anymore, right? Just a little bit of, you got to be able to smile and laugh a little bit, and I think that's a beautiful part of it. I didn't want to be the chief where all of a sudden I come in and officers are coming down and they depart like the Red Sea, so to speak, right? I just wanted to be that chief that, you know, is more, you know, they can talk to and that sort of thing. And I like that. I think it creates a beautiful partnership.
Lastly here, being able to recruit those officers and get them sworn in the city, even knowing the challenges that the city has and may still face, that says a lot about the quality of those people coming to work.
It does, and the beauty of it is when I do have a chief's interview, I will ask that question, why Brooklyn Center, right? And a lot of them will say, hey, I want to be a part of change. And when I see that and I see the look in their eyes, it's, you know what, that person is probably a good prospect for our agency. And it's just really nice to hear the different answers and that sort of thing, and to be able to see the smiles on their faces. And there's still people out there that want to be cops, you know, and right now we have some pretty decent cops that are on our force.
All right. Chief Kellis McDaniel, thank you very much and congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
McDaniel's official last day is January 31st.